So how's it going out there, friends of GreatWave? Hope everyone had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Looking forward to another exciting year in 2019. Recently, for whatever reason, uh, gotten lots and lots of interest in the FX Fluval series, FX4, 5, 6 filters. No doubt due to my friend Richard's video on how to pimp this filter. Um, Obviously, we've been selling media for these for quite a while. I had some feedback over a year ago about how much media they would hold. And it taken a long time for me to figure out exactly how the water flows through these things and how they ought to be put together. And of course, Richard's video helped a great deal. But my filter media or my foam media is different than what he provides. And so I thought I'd put together a little video here about how you could possibly use the foam and the ultimate media from GreatWave to fix up your FX 5 or 6 or 4. So let's see how it works out. Measuring the height of that space here in the tray, it comes to 3.5 inches right up to here. So I'm going to cut 3.5 inch strips and see how well that fits in there. So here we go. So Richard, aka the Pond Guru, has a thing for this convoluted foam. I've never been that big a fan of it. For one reason, I wasn't able to find a source for it where I knew for sure where it came from and what it was comprised of. So I did quite a bit of studying on this subject a couple years ago and finally settled on this porate foam, which comes from Germany. It's very high quality filter foam, and I know exactly where the source is. And it's the same company that provides probably the filter foam for Eheim and Fluval and the other German manufacturers. Anyway, he makes that nice little sandwich out of a piece of coarse and medium convoluted foam that kind of zips together and makes a piece that's roughly the right size to fit into this gap. Our flat foam is actually 1 inch thick, and then the fine foam is 1/2 inch thick. Instead of using coarse and medium, I think it makes a little more sense given the construction of this filter that we have medium and fine. The medium's certainly going to catch anything the coarse would, and then obviously the fine foam will hopefully pick up all the fines that get through that. And that way, we can really fill all 3 trays completely full of the Biohome. So the way this thing operates, as near as I can tell from looking at Richard's video and studying feedback from other folks, is the water comes down through a tube here to the bottom and then comes back up through the outside, passes through the filter into these channels all the way to the top, and then goes back down to the pump where it comes out the other side through a tube up here and on out to your tank. So what we're going to do is put medium and the fine surrounding each tray, and then we should have adequate filtration. So let's take a look at what it looks like when we stuff this in here. So our filter sheets are 13 inches by 13 inches. So if we cut 3.5 inch strips, we can actually get 3 of those out of each sheet. Obviously, it takes 2 per tray, and if you've got 3 trays, that's going to mean 6 strips you're going to need. So that would mean you'd need 2 sheets of foam. So here we see the tray packed with the foam and a 1.5 kilograms of ultimate media, which is what we'd recommend. So that works out to 5 kilograms again for an FX6 and 3 for the 4. So the distance around here is about 14 inches, although on the outside. So you can see on the inside here, the 13-inch fine foam fills that just perfectly. On the outside, the medium foam is a little bit short, but you'll wind up with about 2 inches of scrap, so to speak, left over. And so it's real easy to cut a 1-inch piece of that to plug that gap. And this is kind of what it looks like then from the outside. And it looks like to me it's pretty well filled in. So that's what I would suggest. I think that'll work well. The proof will be in the pudding, of course, so I'm hoping that a few people will give this a shot and give us some feedback, because clearly if it doesn't work well, we'll definitely let everybody know about that. But it certainly seems like it'll work well to me, and give you a good solution, and certainly cheaper than buying the Fluval foam. So obviously the Fluval foams have a little relief here for this thing. They probably go in quite a bit easier. This is a little tough to stick in there, but not that bad. And so whenever your cleaning interval is, obviously you'll hopefully be able to pull those out easily, rinse them out very well. And then I would suggest, I like these little pond plant trays. They're pretty cheap. They're about 10 inches square. And so you can just take your Biohome, drop that in there so it'll spread out a little bit. And then you can swish this around in some tank water to rinse off any debris that might have gotten through the foam. So that's what I'd suggest. Hope you like the idea. And let me know if you have any comments about this. And we'll certainly share those. This will all be out on Facebook, so anyone who's interested can see what we've come up with here. So there we go. Happy fish keeping. And until next time, this is Don Chamberlain, GreatWave Engineering.